Gamescom has passed, Ludwig's YouTube Gaming World's Greatest event has passed, and with each passing day, the summer gets closer and closer to passing. And we still don't have XDefiant, and we don't have an XDefiant release date. Let's talk about that. But before we get to that, do me a favor. Hit the like button on this video. My name is Buckeye, and welcome to XDefiant Guides. Okay, first things first, we need to have a little bit of a discussion here. I've seen a lot of negativity, a lot of attacking, a lot of bashing and hating on the developers because we haven't gotten a release date for this game yet. And I just want to let you guys know that we really need to make sure that this doesn't happen. I understand the frustration. We're allowed to be frustrated. We're excited about this awesome game, but the idea of going and attacking the developers and telling them that they don't know what they're doing is just simply false. It's not accurate, and it makes you look pretty dumb. And for a community that by and large has been really positive about this game so far, the fact that we're simply turning into being hatred people because we haven't gotten this game yet is kind of ridiculous. Can we please not do this? We can be excited, we can be frustrated, we can be disappointed, we can be all of those things and still not attack people. For those of you out there who are doing that, please stop. And for those of you who are not, good on you. Let's continue to be positive about this game and about its developers moving forward. Okay, now that that is out of the way, the question is, why hasn't this game been released yet? Rubin took to Twitter a couple of days ago to let us know some insight into this process and why we haven't gotten this game in our hands just yet. And this is what he had to say. The reason is simple, that we don't have a date that we are sharing. When a game normally launches, it either just drops right after marketing starts, so the first you hear of it is after it's basically ready to ship, or the date is targeted long in advance and the team crunches. I don't want our team crunching. And instead of only marketing the game once it's nearly ready, we had people playing for almost 2 years before launch because we wanted to involve players early to have them be a part of development. We just got a very candid response from Rubin as to why this game isn't in our hands yet. And it's quite simple. He's not going to put crunch on his developers, which has been an industry-wide problem for a long time now here in the gaming world. There are a lot of big-name games, big-name developers that have been hit pretty hard by the crunching problem. And to be completely frank with you, I'm glad that Mark is telling us this way. He's not putting crunch on his developers. I'd rather them work on a great product at the pace that a normal person should be working instead of in horrible crunch situations. So there you go. Why is the game not here? This is a big portion as to why. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this content and you want to see more live streams and videos just like this on XDefiant, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for post notifications. Now, here's the really big question. Why don't we have a release date yet for XDefiant? We were told it was supposed to be launching in late summer 2023, and if you check the calendar, we have less than 20 days until that time frame is no longer here. So why is it that we don't have a release date for this game yet? Well, there's a variety of reasons, and Rubin has once again come through and let us know. We as a community have been talking a lot about the possibility of this game being shadow dropped. I myself originally didn't think that that was going to be the case, and then when we didn't get anything at Gamescom, I thought to myself, maybe at this point, that is the most possible solution. Maybe the game does shadow drop. I was thinking most recently that it would be shadow dropping, but the hammer has come down and Rubin has specifically told us that the game will not be shadow dropping. It also wasn't going to be coming out last weekend, which it did not, and Mark has let us know that we will be able to preload the game. So what does that mean? We will officially be getting some form of announcement for a release of this game. We will hear directly from Ubisoft when the game is going to be coming out, so we have time to preload the game. So that squashes the idea right there. There is no shadow drop. They can't drop the game whenever they want. They have to wait for submission, and the game will be announced when it will be coming out. So that begs the question for a lot of people, what in the world have they been doing? We played the open beta in June. They've been submitting the game since sometime in August. Where are we in this process? What have they been doing? Well, it's actually pretty simple, and Mark has given us a very detailed look into exactly what they have been doing outside of the idea that they're working in the submission process. He said in a response on Twitter, yeah, there were a lot of back-end stuff, server, anti-cheat, store, compliance stuff that hadn't been done yet. All we had was solid gameplay, but none of the less visible stuff you don't see. Now, this is a really huge thing that Mark has let us know about, because up to this point, we didn't actually know this. The open beta had a solid build of gameplay that was available, but it didn't have any of the back-end stuff, like he's talking about the store, server things, anti-cheat, a lot of the other things that go into the game that are not things that you typically see were not done. The game was just simply not finished, which again goes to prove the idea that this game's beta was not just a marketing ploy. It was a beta to have work done on the game. And I know that it's disappointing for everybody to hear that, oh man, the game isn't really here yet, but there's a reason for that, and this is what we're at. He's given us another look into this as well. He said, so the submission process is both basically. I'll detail out the steps at some point more for people to see, but there is a prep for sub that is fixing bugs, then sub, then fix issues from the sub, then repeat at least once. And he's told us that this process can take more than 2+ times for a brand new IP. A response to him on Twitter stated, I think what most are angry over is the fact that you haven't at least given a time frame. Like, there's a lot of people who think the game won't make its summer release date. That could be the case, but no one's said otherwise, so it's just worrying us is all. Mark then replied by stating, I totally get it, and to be honest, I can't be upset that people are complaining. It means they want to play. They are excited about the game that we've worked so hard to make. I promise, when I have something certain, I'll say it. I think this is an accurate take here. The fact is people are starting to get worried that the game isn't going to meet the initial time frame that was set by Ubisoft, coming in late summer 2023, and we haven't gotten any form of direction otherwise. So people are concerned that if it's going to get delayed, we haven't heard about it yet. Or if it is coming out in this time frame, it seems a little sus. But Mark is letting us know here that he gets it. He understands where the community is at. And at the end of the day, we are just excited to play this game that him and all the other developers have put their heart and soul into over the last few years. And he has again told us that when he has something to say about a release date, we will know. And when that release date does come and the game is officially in our hands, you can watch me play the game live on my Kick. That link is in the description. I would greatly appreciate if you go over there and give me a follow. Okay guys, so here's the situation now. I think it's pretty fair to say at this point that Ubisoft does not have a master plan for marketing this game. In fact, I think it's pretty apparent that there is no back-end marketing plan for this game. We literally are waiting on the game to be approved through submission. They've said it to us so many times, and I think a lot of us, including myself, have heard that, but assumed that there was something else going on too, that perhaps they were waiting for certain times to talk about the game. But at this point, basically any opportunity that they have had to drop this game has passed, and the constant thing that they have continued to tell us about over and over again is that the game is in submission, and that is where they are at. So at this point, no, I really don't think that there is some form of master plan. There really isn't anything behind the scenes that we don't know about at this point. We know what's going on. The game is being worked on. Fixes for bugs are being done. The game is going through submission, and they are waiting for first parties to approve the game. There isn't some form of conspiracy going on. There's nothing of the sort. The game is being put into its final stages to be put into our hands. This is a process that is out of their hands. They have to do what the first parties tell them to do. And at this point, I think it's pretty much clear as day that there's nothing else happening here. The game is going through approval, and that's where we're at. I get it if you guys are frustrated, if you're disappointed, if you're sad, if you're upset, whatever the case may be. I understand. That's totally valid. I get it. I'm disappointed. I would love to play this game right now. You guys know that I would love to play this game. I've been making content on it for about 2 months now, and the game's not even here. I want the game in my hands, but we have to be patient. Now, with that said, if you guys enjoyed today's video, do me a quick favor, hit that like button. Can we hit 200 likes on today's video? That would be stupendous. And also, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more of our XDefiant content, both videos and live streams, all for you here on the channel. But I will see you guys in the next one.